Right, good morning everyone. There's been a bit of a delay getting started today, so I'm about an hour and a half behind my start time. Still going to be knocking off at the usual time, so we're going to go and pick up the kids. But yeah, basically I've had no internet all morning because of the joys of broadband. So we're on the old copper cable at the moment. So broadband speeds aren't great, and the actual times and whatnot have been pretty rubbish. Not times, what we call them, the broadband speeds. So while I've been offline, I've been working on my Bulezaus, the Schirs from Pathfinder, if you prefer, given the state of the hobby at the moment. So what I need to do first off is going to readjust the body size just a touch. So this is where I've got to. So the difference between the Schir in Pathfinder and the Bulezaus in D&D, as far as I can tell, appears to be that the Schir have big halberds, so there's no mention of a tail. And obviously with the Bulezaus there is a tail and no mention of a halberd, although they're frequently pictured with them. They're both basically pestillent beastmen, so there'll be like little pustules and blisters and stuff on them. So I've sculpted one body, and then we've got 3 different like goat heads. So one quite clean, simple one that's a bit more haggard and gnarly with the mouth closed, and then another one that's a little bit kind of mental looking, in a bit more of a snarly kind of pose. Horns wise, I've got 3 sets of horns made. So leaving that goat's head on, we've got the first set of horns that you can see, which is like the big curly ram horns. We've got some less curly kind of ram horns, and then we've got some spirally, pointy-uppy kind of horns. So we're going to stick with those 3. We're going to do a variety of different poses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pose the model. I'll probably flip the body and do some mirrored poses just to kind of like save a little bit of time and make things a little bit easier. And yeah, basically, let me just check the Schir here a second. Let's just quick Google search on mine to see if I can find out a bit of information about it. So the Schir has a halberd. A tall muscular humanoid with the head and hooves of a demonic goat, also known as spike demons. So there's no mention here of a tail. And if I actually just Google a Schir, little look at the images online. So none of them have the tail. They don't have there's a Bulezau there. So the Bulezau has the long tail. The Schir has nothing of the sort. So yeah, basically I'm just going to do both. So we'll do both versions. We'll do one with the tail and one without. So and what's the crack with this very common spear I'm seeing? I'm seeing lots of different images. Well, actually, it looks like it's just 2 or 3 images with slight differences. They seem to have this this crazy looking, trident looking thing. I think that's probably more what I'm going to go for, just a traditional style halberd, I think. Oh no, this one does have a spiky tail as well. Screw it, let's just stick with that. We'll just do the tail. we'll do the tail, we'll do the thing. We're going to go for no clothes on these guys. I'm just going to put them in, you know, give them a hairy lower quarters. Maybe a few little bits like hanging around, like bracelets and things like that. But no, I'm not going to put any armour or clothing on them. That should help to simplify it a little bit. Where you gone? Okay. Let me just get onto my multi-stream chat so I can see if anybody's on Facebook or anything. Okay, so I need to do a merge with the body and the legs. And the tail. Great. First bit of chat going on is a bot. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate the body. Duplicate. So that's 1, 2, 3, 5. No, 6. Let's do 6 and then we'll look to make some variation on them. Okay, first thing to do is the spear, I think. So let's get the cylinder. Make polymesh 3D. So a halberd, if you're not too familiar with them, they're quite a cool weapon because you get the best of many worlds. You have the spike on the top, which obviously acts like a spear. We have the axe head at the front, which is like obviously a pole axe, which gives you some good chopping ability. And then there's like a hooked back, so you can use it to, like, you know, if you've got a horseback rider coming past you or whatever it is, you could like snag her with it and yank them off the horse, and you know, you can use it for various different things. So it's quite a multi-purpose weapon. I think it's very underused for the most part, to be honest. I'm just looking for like an axe that I've made. Not particularly like a halberd. Just trying to see if anything jumps out at me. Do you know what? I'll go like a pole axe. I know what this one is anyway, but it's quite a nice shaped axe head. The only thing I regret with this is not saving it straight. So whenever I load it in, it always comes in one coup. But that is quite a nice shaped axe head as it is actually. I might do a little bit of reshaping on that, but otherwise it's fairly good to go. Let me just check the mesh, see if it's in multiple parts. It's not. So I'm just going to have to mask off the bit I want and then just isolate that. So group masked. Let's just select that. Delete hidden and closed holes. Sweet. Okay. I was going to dynamesh, so I've got a bit of resolution to work with. Because at the moment this is what's the word now? Let's copy that and go pop it on the sphere. Take the halberd head. What's that logo? What is that sentence at the bottom? That is weird. Let me just make sure I've only got that. Must have had a stray polygon or something like that right at the bottom. That's fine, let's just get that local centered. I just want to extend the blade up, so I'm going to just, there we go, I'm just going to make it longer. And make it a little bit wider as well. This bit I'm not going to be too fussed about, I want to keep the spike on the back. So I'm just messing with shapes at the moment just to get what I want going on. Let's just scrub this down because I'm going to copy the copy the cylinder over in a minute. Slight curve on the bottom there, and then we're going to just carve a bevel in for a blade. Okay, I'm just going to polish the outsides. Now I want this to look. So we've got the infernal legions that obviously these guys are part of as well. So we've got the bearded devils, we've got the spine devils, the spirigons. They've all got a kind of similar aesthetic, especially when it comes to the weapons. So I want to kind of mirror that here. So I want the top of the halberd to be still quite what do we call it now? Still quite pointed at the top. Because one of the things with the halberd is there'll be a spike here. When you stab with it, you'll have the spike at the top, but it'll also kind of, this part here will also pierce, so you'll get a double effect. Now the bottom part here, I think I could probably get away with making it a little bit. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring this down. Let's grab it a little bit higher, a little bit lower down, sorry. Let's soften it. I'm just going to stretch that down. going to bring that back into the handle, just like that. So it's going to create this kind of handhold here at the top. So we'll have one hand here, and then the other hand further down. So as soon as I extend this pole out a little bit, so it's got more of a pole reach on it. So yes, we'll have one hand in here, and then the other hand in there. So then here, I'm just going to re-dynamesh that. Just need to reshape this edge. So I just want to make sure it's got a good continuous flow on it. So obviously I just pulled it down in a straight line and it made a kind of a weird edge. I'm going to stretch out to give the blade some thickness, and then I'm going to slice the outside. So I'm going to take that off and basically leave it all flat. So group polish dynamesh, just like that. Delete hidden, and then I want to just do the shaping on this piece. So just do a little bit of nudging, just to kind of get that smooth, get the line clean. Grab that bit and I'm going to just pull that backwards. Okay. This bit I'm just going to shrink this into the middle so I can pull the outside in. Now this piece looks really out of line now because of the movement, so I'm just going to grab it and bring it up. Shrink it down so it looks like it's about on par with that. Mask that off again. Okay, and then I just need to redo the bevel on this side. Just running flat on that tip there, just to be able to use it. Use planer just to flatten off the outside there. Okay, so you can see we've got a nice bevel on that bit. The bevel on the rest of the blade is not too bad. The curve lines I'm pretty happy with, and then what I need to do now is I just need to do a mirror and weld operation using the Z-axis, but not that side. So let me just mirror on the Z first, and then we'll do mirror and weld. There we go, perfect. Okay, sweet. Right now I can take this sphere that we've got. I want to duplicate it and enlarge it I want to shrink it right down. Okay, I've stuffed that up already. Okay, so I've got it enlarged, got the symmetry turned off, and I've got the tool centered. Right, so I'm going to shrink it right down. We'll enlarge it so it's got enough of a ridge around there. And I'm going to shrink it back down again. So the first one I want to sit here. So there, so it's capturing that bottom piece. And then the next one can go higher up. Duplicate that, hold Control and Shift. And this one can be a bit shorter. Okay. So to make this into a halberd, the one thing that's missing is the spike on the top. So I'm going to go and grab a spike brush out of my tools. Into my detail section, I've got a little spike brush in here. MV spikes. Again, I believe this came from badking.com. It's a very useful little set if you just want to throw a spike on something. So just going to split hidden on this split mask, sorry. So it's isolated the handle now from this spike. Not happy with the spike at all. So apologies if you've got a dirty mind, some of these spikes look very suspect. I think I might do something different now, actually. Use a cube. Shrink it in. Extend it up so it comes past the top. And choices. Right, I'm gonna use taper. I'm gonna taper the top down into a spike. Let's put this back to Gizmo. I'm gonna shrink it so it fits. Now I need to just do a I want it to be a bevel. Let's dynamesh it first, so we've got some resolution. And save, because I haven't saved yet. So, I need the symmetry on X and Z. That'll make sure that with local symmetry turned on, I've got it on the sides. Whatever I do on one side will be the same on all the others. I literally just want to carve a bevel in. So we've got like, use the H polish tool now just to blend that bevel out. Here I want to just take that narrower. I want to try and maintain the same thickness on the spine all the way down if I can, which is easier said than done at the time because I've already got a flat bit here. I think we're doing alright. Roughly. There we go. Get my Z remesher. Not Z remesher. Z modeler. Just going to add some edge loops. By adding edge loops to the top and the bottom, it stops these edges from collapsing when I do the symmetry, do the divisions. If you don't put the extra edge loop at the top, what will happen is the top is going to turn into a kind of what's going to try and turn into a ball almost. So between there and there, it's just going to kind of like dome over. By having that extra ring around there, it reinforces that top edge and stops it from collapsing. Just need to make sure I've done it on the bottom handle. And the top of the handle as well. And then on this one, I think I've already done it, but I'll just do another one just in case. Right, and I'll know it's worked because I'm just about to do a division. So I'm just going to go divide, which will get rid of all the faceting and faces and stuff you can see. So you can see it's nice and smooth now. And I've still got flat tops and bottoms to all of my bits, which is perfect. So this spike here now, I'm going to duplicate that. Oops, so turn the symmetry off a second. Do it 180 upside down, and I'm going to shrink it. There you go, so it's a smaller spike. Perfect. I'm going to take this piece. I'm going to delete the subdivisions first. Control and Shift and drag that to duplicate it. I'm just going to put it at the bottom as a little butt cap with a spike coming out of it. Okay. Right, now side on, we're going to add some detailing. So I'm just going to scroll this down to about 12, I think. Pretty much perfect, I think. We'll come to this one here. We're going to do a double rivet on that one. Actually, a bit too high. 1, 2. A double rivet there, and then a double rivet here. Okay. With symmetry on, that's done it on both sides, obviously. I just need to just clean up the top edge of this piece. What happened there then? Okay, I know what happened. Can we split that? Let's take this one on its own now. That was a bit of a bizarre one. Added a real funny shape to that. I want to make sure this looks like a hook, because the main feature here is that this hook, obviously, like I say, can be used to snag and pull things, weapons out of your opponent's hands, or bring a mounted opponent off the horse, etc. Bit of crowd control weapon, the halberd. I think anytime you're planning on doing a character, if you're thinking about giving them a spear, you might as well give them a halberd instead. Let's just do a flat edge here, because Right, so I'm just going to go and export this into the component library. So if you're interested, I've got a component library here which is full of different things. I'm sure there is somebody who can correct me on this. I'm pretty sure this is not a traditional halberd because of the two-handed grip on the weapon. Okay, but there we go. That is going to be our weapon for the Narzugon, not Narzugon, did him last week. The Bulezaus and the Schirs. I think that's how you say it. S-C-H-I-R. That is perfect size, I think. Touch smaller. I'm going to go for a tiny bit wider. Let's go 1.15 in that direction, and then we're going to go 1.15 in this direction too. That's just going to help it maintain its round proportions whilst also not making it longer this way. Okay, so it's now a bit heftier for this guy to be using. And okay, so I've now got 6 bodies. I've got a halberd, we've got 3 heads, we've got 3 sets of horns. Let's make some beastmen. Okay. So first body, I've hidden the rest, so the rest are not in view. Thought we had. Right, duplicate that. I'm going to hide the basement. So halberd 1 to go with. Let me just duplicate them all and make sure every beastman's got a halberd. Merge that down. Sorry, not merged down, group masked. There we are. Oh jeez. Let's get that turned off. Okay, so I need, so if I'm holding a halberd, I'm holding the bottom part of the pole with my left hand, I'm holding the top part of the pole with my right hand. So let's get some positioning all right. Okay, so let's go for that as a halberd position. first one, let's go for a neutral pose. Let's go for it. Let's hold in the X up. I'm just going to auto group here so I can isolate the different parts of the body separate. Lock that into the shoulder, so it's right in the middle of the shoulder joint. And then we'll isolate the mask. Masculine, sorry. Use the mask lasso tool on the mask at the elbow. Double tap a few times to soften the mask on the edge. Take the hand of the arm, I'm going to rotate it out to the side a touch more. Okay, then I'm going to lock this down. I want the hand forwards a bit. There's a bit of an interesting thing here. Adam on Facebook, thanks for the like, mate. Hope you're keeping well. There's an interesting thing which you may or may not be aware about, and it's to do with your forearm and the way it moves. So you kind of think when you rotate your hand that you're rotating from the wrist, but actually it's the entire forearm is twisting. So your forearm's made up of like two bones that run parallel to each other, and the two bones are connected to either side of your hand. So if you feel your wrist on either side, you'll feel the actual bones themselves. When you twist your hand and you rotate your hand around, those two bones are actually twisting with the hand, so they're going in the same place. So if your hand was rotating independent of that forearm bone, then it would be what's the word? Hang on a second, I'll just turn this music down a bit so it's a bit loud. Yeah, so if you rotate your wrist and the bone goes with it, and basically what's happening is the two bones are basically at your elbow. At the top of your arm, they stay the same. At the bottom of your arm, at your wrist, they stay the same. But throughout the arm, they're actually twisting. So the two bones are moving independent of each other along with the muscles. So when I come to twist this arm, we need the elbow to stay where it is. We need the wrist to stay where it is, because we're still going to see the anatomy. But we need to adjust the muscles and the way the muscles twist. Right, so I'm just going to pop this in. I'm going to twist it like that, which obviously is not right. When you look at it, it's all twisted and mangled and gnarly. It's clearly not right, but the wrist bones are in the correct spot. If I just rotate the hand on its own, that actually is incorrect, because the whole wrist needs to move with it too. So what I need to do is the muscles that are here, which is isolate here. So the muscles that are here, I need to just reform to fit with this twist. don't normally worry too much about this, because if we end up putting braces on or cloth wraps or any kind of clothing, you can't really tell. We're not going to seal this joint, but in this case we absolutely are. So I'm going to take this muscle here, and this muscle is going to come round and twist it there. Now my elbow's all mangled, so let's get this sorted first. This one needs to again just reshape it and then profile it just a touch. For a minute, I'm fairly happy with that. That's not too bad. The shoulder here doesn't need to be adjusting. Oh no, arms back. Let's go find out if we've lost all of that. At least I saved the halberd first. Zbrush, what you're playing at? I didn't even do anything difficult. So it saved something, let's see what it saved. Okay, so basically this is where I started the stream from. Brilliant. I say, luckily the halberd was saved out. I do wish, now that max when I bought it. I'm hoping they're going to come in and really make some improvements on the stability. Because as long as I can remember, it's been an issue with Zbrush. So I got it to size, rotated it around 90 degrees. And then I increased the dimension to 1.15% or 115% at least, to thicken up the handle and the blade. And then we're going to right, I'm going to do something a little different this time then. I'm going to do merge visible a few times. Okay, so this gives me 6 poses. How I wish I'd done this first. Let's just isolate that right now. And delete that one. Delete. Delete. Is that the one I just did? Yeah. So that one is fine. I'm going to do this. We're going to go auto groups first. So everything's in its own group. And delete that one. And I'm going to delete that one. Okay, right, so in this scene then we've got the 100mm ruler. Model is scaled to 32mm scale. So he is, we'll just double check, 10, 20, he's about 32mm to the eyes, but obviously he's got quite a stooped hunch position. So he's going to end up being a little bit bigger. So we want him to be about 7 foot tall. So 32mm with a stooped posture kind of works. Let me just move that out of the way. Okay, the base is 25mm, so we know that base is going to be absolutely fine. And we want to make sure he stands on the base when he's posed. Okay. So now I'm going to clone this, okay? Split hidden. Split hidden. Alright, so I've taken the base out, I've taken the ruler out. Let's just rename that ruler. Let's rename that base. So we're going to go duplicate, 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 duplicate. So that's 5 of them. I'm going to hide 2 to 5. Save again. Okay, now we're going to do what I started doing. I'm going to do some posing. So I'm going to take your shoulder, I'm going to rotate your shoulder. The thing to remember here is, again, when you rotate a shoulder, it's not just the shoulder you're rotating, it's going to be a whole different set of bones and muscles. So the pectoral muscle here has to come up into the shoulder line. Flatten out, and it's going to pull into the shoulder. The shoulder is going to go into the collarbone here, the shoulder muscle. It's going to come back into the back, and then up to there, and then we want the pectoral there going up into kind of into the armpit, if you like, and then the armpit. We're going to do some hair anyway. We'll give him a little hairy armpit, I think, for him, but we'll just carve that little bit into there. Thicken up his collarbone. Okay, pretty happy with that. Oh, I ended up with that. That's just baffling. Let's just mask that out. Okay, I'm just going to turn polish off. I'm going to turn groups on. I'm going to get to the mesh to about 900, I think, and then just dynamesh it. Okay, so that's just uniformed all of my mesh. checked, and that actually needs to go up to the over the collarbone, not under. That's fine. There we go. That's it. So again, any kind of rotation operations or anything like that we're going to do, we're going to line up the widget, gizmo, whatever we're calling it. We're going to line that up so it sits in the middle of the part we're going to rotate. I'm just going to hide that base because it's doing murder and getting in the way. Rotate that just a touch, and then it's going to remask, double tap, shift on the mask, and rotate again. Okay, it really hasn't worked how I hoped it was going to work. Dynamic tessellation, I'm just going to reshape and rework this muscle. So I've now rotated the arm. Bend the elbow now. So again, we're going to pick it up at the elbow joint, double tap a few times, invert that, and then I want the widget lined up, and then we'll rotate. So again, we're going to just kind of smooth the joints, smooth the curves. See, the elbow is mangled and bent out of shape, so it's going to straighten that one. Let's grab the fingers. So just run the So I've got one. I said about earlier already. So we can see what's happened here with the arm. I need to just... Morning, Bunker. How you doing, mate? Yeah, it took a little bit of time this morning to just get it sorted. But it is sorted, thankfully, so that is small mercies of all. But I've ended up upgrading. I think it's down to the copper cables that are feeding the house. So for a bit of reassured reliability, we've gone for fibre, but we can't get that for another month yet because apparently all the engineers were striking and there's a big backlog now. So, how are you doing today anyway? Did you have a nice weekend? Just working on the Bulezaus, the Schir was it, or something like that? I forget. Schir, sorry, the Schir demons. Stormcast army? Were you not doing that the other day then? Is that... Has your Stormcast contingent grown then, or is that just what you're doing then? Right, now while I was making the base mesh for this guy, I did another one which I'm just going to load into, kind of need the hands. Fair enough, mate. As you do. Just forget you've got half an army sitting around somewhere. I painted armies and stuff like, what's the word? Are they worth selling at the moment? Are they going quite well? So I remember in the past when I've sold armies and stuff, you never really kind of make your money back on a painted one through eBay. Or I never did anyway. I sold a lovely painted army of Galadrim from the Lord of the Rings, the whole armoured elves. Had a whole army of them, and there was all metal, probably about 200 quid worth of metal. I painted them all lovely. They'd all had a nice paint job. I'd done lovely baiting on them with like a nice autumnal kind of theming and whatever. And then when I sold them for about 220 quid. So I think I ended up either broke even on the models or lost out a little bit. But it's just eBay for you, isn't it? I'll just save that, guys. I'm just going to pop you on a BRB while I just run and grab a cuppa because my office is still freezing. I need something warm to keep me going. So I'm going to leg it up the house, grab a cuppa, maybe a quick sandwich, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay. My son's horrors. I'm going to list it for 350 with a bite now of 300. Oh, that's not bad then. It's not too bad then. It is worth putting the effort in if you're selling them. Do they sell alright though, Bunker, or are they kind of... You know what, I'll be back in a second, so I was going to grab this tea so I can carry on. Right, BRB, there we go. I was going to mute the mic and I'll be back in a minute, guys. I'm back, guys. Right. Let's see what you said, Bunker. Let's catch up here. So, splitting things up, custom. Right, so custom colour scheme. You've got to keep them together. New toy syndrome. Yeah, I get you, mate. I get that. I know where you're coming from. Right, I'm gonna need to load a tool in here now. I'm just gonna go to base meshes, and I made a ghoul base mesh. Just gonna load that in. So we'll be using this to do some ghouls soon enough. There we go. But the bit I need... Oh, it's not even in here. Turds. Let's just take them out. Okay, so yeah, so basically, Bunker, then your mini painting is kind of an excuse to buy stuff that you wouldn't normally, that you just fancy buying, basically. Something new comes out, you can grab it and paint it up and then flog it on. Good shout. Take the spear grip here. What do you mean, no, mate? You kind of like carrying on with the like the new releases, trying to keep up with like things people are talking about online and trying to get them done. And then by the time a new release comes out, you're still halfway through the previous one. get this hand positioned. Oh, this is yeah, by the time you get something done you're well behind. What's Indominus again? Was that the new GW kind of like 40k box release, or was that the magazine? Yeah, it's getting more expensive, isn't it? That's just GW all over, isn't it? Everything's always getting more expensive. Didn't they promise a while back though there'd be no price increases on there? Didn't they do like a big price increase to set them up for the future, and that was supposed to be it? I'm sure I remember that going on. Oh, that was a ball ache, wasn't it? It didn't work. Still means mad that they're on 9th edition already. Hey Adam, how you doing, mate? Yeah, so next release we've got for the Infernal Legion is, they're called Bulezaus in D&D. Pathfinder they're called Schir. They're the same thing basically. But yeah, they're like pestillent beastmen with halberds and kind of barbed tails, but they basically poison you and you end up dying a gruesome pestilent death. So lovely chaps, really. Just trying to get a few different poses done, and I can work on some pose flips and tweaks and whatever. Yeah, I was watching an interesting rant the other day on YouTube, and it was all around the D&D stuff. Basically, this guy was kicking off because basically D&D isn't D&D. And he was going on about how they call it 5th edition and everything else, but to be an edition, it has to be backward compatible with the game. So basically, like the current version of D&D is so far removed from the original version of D&D that, as far as this guy was concerned, it's technically no longer even D&D anymore. And it did get me thinking about the same thing with 40k and whatever else. So obviously we know Age of Sigmar is a new game, but I kind of feel like, I mean, after 2nd edition, 40k changed so drastically that it's not really the same game it was then. You know, it's the same models and the same setting, but like the actual game itself is different. But then even coming on to like the present, I mean, look at the actual rules for the game and the rules, the story for the characters, and even that is, again, it's so far removed from, you know, the 2nd edition game. You know, is it even the same thing anymore? You know, you still got the same terminology and stuff in there, but you know, stories are different. There's they've moved on and they've evolved and they've gone with the times or whatever. But they've also lost this kind of like jokiness that they used to have. Obviously, it always used to be quite, you know, I know it's grimdark now, but it always used to be quite light-hearted, didn't it? The whole thing. I mean, we're talking back in the 90s, but yeah, if this guy's argument stands and he's right about the whole thing with additions, is 40k actually still 40k, or is it just some new product that's been sold? You've kind of been tricked into a full sense of security on it. Let's just get the fingers rotated properly on this. So it conforms to the same shape. So again, man, I'm not a gamer, so you know, not so much anymore. Anyway, I used to love playing, but then I kind of moved away from where all my clubs were and stuff. So like my kind of gaming just fell out of tune entirely, really. New GW, I didn't, mate. What are they dropping? Not more bloody lieutenants, is it? What are they releasing? Oh, for God's sake, it is. the rocket launch. Yeah, I did see them actually, the missile launchers. Yeah, sorry, I did see that set. Oh, and Wrath of the Soulforge King, I saw that one in the That's the Dark Angels and Deathwings, isn't it? The new thingy set. What's it called now? The set that's got the so it's got the boarding patrol with Space Marines and Chaos Marines. Some bases. Strike Force Augustus, that was it. The Dreadnought and the guys with the Primaris Devastator kind of guys. These ones, isn't it? You're right. These guys aren't great, are they? These the Devastators up here with the dual firing rockets. I'll be honest, I'm sick to death of the things. Oh, these ones down here just look ridiculous. I'm sick of Space Marines. I just see them so often. They feel so bland now. Oh, here we go. We've got some Imperial Guard with some actual female heads. That'd be an interesting one. They do, yeah. Yeah, you're right, actually. This one does look like Johnny Five. I was trying to show Jacob the original Short Circuit movie the other day. I wasn't very interested. This one, I do not like this one. I don't get what's going on here. It just feels like they've got... Every time I see it, I think it's an Age of Sigmar model. These are nice, the Attilan Rough Riders. That's a nice model. I do quite like the new Imperial Guard. They've got this nice... yeah, it's hard to tell, isn't it, Adam? It's oh yeah, the Scandalous tank. Yeah, I mean this guy here, I think it's a robotic horse, but then when you look at the head here, there's like, it looks like there's an actual proper horse there. So I don't know if they've just maybe, you know, they've done a kind of a chop shop job on a real horse with a bit of cybernetic augmentation. But I don't know, the whole thing just feels like, you know, he's supposed to be the High Lord or something like that. He just feels wooden. Like there's no movement there, do you know what I mean? It's hardly inspiring, is it? The Rogue or Dawn tank there, the bottomless tank. They don't show you that bit though, do they? They're quite nice. They're cool too. I like them. He's nice. I mean, they've got a cushion number really, haven't they? Because they've made the stuff now. They're just rehashing everything really, aren't they? Just I will give you a new version of this and a new version of that, and some of this and some of that, and you know, we'll do a resculpt of this one and a resculpt of that one. It's they can just kind of get away with it now. I'm not keen on that one. He's not the best, is he? I don't know. I think they've got a good thing going, but they've got to be careful not to take the mick too much, haven't they? Just got to duplicate that, minimise it, and then Dynamesh. Bit of polish on, about 900 resolution. Okay, let's just come in and just sculpt the hand details. New Slan as well. A 40k Slan, or are you talking Age of Sigmar one? Because I know they were the original old ones, weren't they? In the in 40k, the Slan, and there was a lot of allusions to them early doors, but I don't think they ever really did any models for it. Hey, nice mate. Discord link. Let me just grab that. Let's see if we can beat Bunker to it. There you go, mate. Bunker beat me. Tried to slash Discord instead of exclamation mark and it failed. Oh, sorry, mate. Right, let me just grab that. Sorry, man. Let me just fire Facebook up and I'll go and post it on there. Where are we at? There you go, mate. You see that now? Right. Okay, it's not appearing in my Facebook feed, the comment I've just posted. Let me just see if we can. Good. So I can't see my own comments coming up in my in the multi-stream on Twitch, but they're obviously there on the on Facebook, which is enough. Okay then. Cheers again, Bunker. Yeah, I can still see yours in the Facebook chat on here now on my multi-stream, But the 2 posts I've just put on the multi-stream, they're not showing up for me. Now what's going on with it? Doing a lot of this over the weekend. Nice, mate. Right, nice. Yeah, I don't even have anything to do with them. So you've earned that off your own back, mate. Got to close up some of these gaps here so we can make sure there's no like resin seeping in, and there's nothing getting trapped in there. Okay, just gonna just do some nudging just to reproportion the hand because it feels a bit off. Okay, I think that is good enough. Yep. Okay, so I need to merge that. Well, I'm going to duplicate that first, and I need to merge it with the body here. Delete hidden, just get rid of that hand of hidden. Merge down. There we go. So he's now holding the spear, the lance. Halberd. Holding the halberd, not the spear or the lance. Let's see if we can do a So I'm just going to grab this now and bring it round here like this. I need to duplicate that, mirror it. Transparent. Delete the hidden. Let's just pull the arm out so it fits there. Perfect. So need to change his head. So we're going to pick up that head, I think. So let's just turn his head so it's facing the direction of the axe. Slash halberd. Let's bring it round a touch more. Get his neck. Just pull the throat up into the neck. I don't need to do too much with the legs, I don't think, but I will do a little something. just rotate him at the hip. Tapping a few times to soften the mask as much as I possibly can. Get it lined into the middle. And then we're just going to grab his back and just try and line his spine now, so his spine falls back in with the tail line. His stomach I can deal with as a sculpted detail, but let me just save it first. Who's ringing me? It's over Max, isn't it? Just message Max and tell him I'm just on stream. Okay. So I've had some messages coming in about a gaming event I'm doing on the weekend. So I'm not doing it, I'm going to it, but a 9 AM start might challenge me. Okay, right, so just going to rotate the tail. These Bulezaus and Schirs and whatever else we're going to call them, they have these little like little protrusions, little spikes on the end of the tail. get some smoothing going on the tail here. And some inflation as well, because that needs to be a little bit thicker there. There we go. Right then, so next to do is, I reckon, let's try duplicating him. Lean back a bit. Let's just take the weapon in the hands and the arm. Go and locate it between the two shoulders. Warning point out, it is a goat. It's a kind of beastman type creature called a Bulezau. If you're not into D&D anymore, it's a Schir for Pathfinder. They're basically the same thing. So I think what do I even do then? Split hidden. Yeah, that's it. Just about got them separate. Sometimes you do that, and the models end up blending together. Isn't always what we're after. Well, it's not what we're after in this case. So, not at all. So now I want to take this one. Bill, how you doing, sir? Thank you very much. Hope you're keeping well. Just trying to make the best use of these assets by recycling. Should just mask these together, shouldn't I? I can go really cack-handed at it today. I've done something weird and I seem to have flattened his thumb at the top there. First coffee of the day. Where about in the world are you, Bill? Or are you just having a late get up? Just rotate that hand a touch. We'll take it from there. I'm going to rotate it again just a smidge. And then when I get this hand, I'll just auto group all of this. Ohio, 9 AM, that makes perfect sense, sir. Because here in Solihull in the UK, it is 5 to 2 in the afternoon. That is. So you're either depriving yourself, it's or you're in another country, which makes more sense. Just a little bit of fiddling then, just to make sure this fits. A little bit of moving just to nudge bits about. Now I did say earlier there's an issue with arms. So if you missed that little explanation, basically your forearm is made up of 2 bones and a load of muscles. And the 2 bones actually twist around the muscles. So your elbow will always be in the same position. Your wrist will always be in the same position. I did build. We are here. This is my stock model. So I've sculpted 3 different heads, 3 different sets of horns. Made the halberd today, and I actually built the base mesh for this guy last night, so I was doing a little bit of sculpting of the evening. So yeah, so what I was saying with the arms here, the elbow, you've got 2 bones running up this length. So one of them is this wrist bone, and the other one is this wrist bone, and they come back and they connect to the elbow. And basically, if you're doing braces or clothing or anything else, you can get away with this a little bit just by sculpting the wrists in where you need them. But when you're sculpting bare arms and you've actually got to do the anatomy, you need the wrists to be in the right place. Let me just say this. Basically, because everything's going to just totally look wrong if you don't have it in the right spot to start with. So the bones that go from the elbow to the wrist, they kind of twist over each other. So there's no rotation joint or anything in the arm. It's actually just a twisting set of parallel bones, which makes it a little bit difficult to try and like conceptualize sometimes how it's actually working. So it can be easy to make the forearms look a little bit weird. The best thing to do is to sculpt the anatomy in a neutral pose. Sculpt it in a neutral pose and then modify it afterwards by rotating halfway down the forearm, and then once you've rotated halfway down, you can sculpt it all back in and make the 2 sides join up better. It's kind of a quicker way of getting a proper result, if you like, than just trying to do a quick rotation. So like just turning the hand is enough if you've got armour or something there, because the arm's not going to move before. if they've got any clothes on and things like that, you can always do the same. But when you've got exposed anatomy, then yeah, you do need to keep on it and make sure it works. Pointy, what you been up to this weekend? Anything nice? Let's get this on in there. Let's bring the shoulder back in line there, so we want it to go just above the collarbone. Make sure the pectoral goes up into that joint as well. I am going to be doing some like fur on these guys as well, so there won't be there'll be like, I've already started marking it out on the legs, so we've got some fur indications here. The lower quarters of the guys are going to be furry down here, so you know, I don't have to sculpt any goat wangs or anything like that. So all furry down here, furry back into the tail, and then give them some little hairy armpits, a little bit of billy goat beards, maybe a bit of hair coming down onto the chest, say, or coming up from here. Possibly a little bit on the forearms, or I might leave the arms bare, and then we'll do some hair on the head coming back down to the backs. Over here, the shoulders are going to be covered in like shaggy hair. That should be kind of enough, I think. Right, there we go. Oops. Shear the knee off. Reposition the tail so it doesn't clip through his leg. We've got Chaz in the Discord server. just okay, do not switch to 2D mode. Get rid of this dude's head. Why am I doing a goat with a rat tail? It's just how they are, dude. It's basically the there's two different goat demons in well, they exist in both Pathfinder and D&D, and they're needed for the D&D campaign I've been working on. And basically they are described as humanoids with the head and hooves of a goat, and then they have a long barbed tail that they use to poison their enemies. So they're quite pestilent, like pustulous kind of goats. So they're kind of pestigores, I would say. But then they have this tail which doesn't quite gel with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sculpt all of them completely as is. But I'm going to then do a set without the goat tail, without the tail. So if you want to just use them as beastmen, you've got the option to do that. Right, I'm going to take the crazy goat face, I think that one. I'm going to paste that here. I'm going to take the ram horns, I think I'll take for this next one. Paste them on as well. Sort of. Sunblind Monkey, morning. How are you doing, sir? I'll say sir, could be a lady. Don't know. Hope you're keeping well today. Thank you for joining the stream. So let's just get this second header made. Get this position so it looks a bit badass. Do you know what? These horns are really going to interfere, aren't they, with this halberd swinging? Never mind. Let's just do his neck. Let's just position that. You're into the old beastmen then. Let's go on here. Where did that come from? Right, there we go. Now I can spend a little bit of time making the neck look nicer. Oh, demon king. Right, I get you now, dude. So I read it as monkey for some reason. I skim read and I read Sunblind Monkey or something, but yeah, some Sunblind Demon King makes a bit more sense. Okay, right, so I'm not going to spend too much time making his neck look good, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some fur to it anyway. So I just need to just tidy it up a touch, just to get the proportions correct. Once I've got the proportions and everything in, we are good then. So yes, like I say, the tail I'm not overly fond of, but it's a the tail is obviously, it's part of the lore and whatnot. So it kind of needs to be there, but like I said, it's not my favourite part of the model, and it is definitely going to be an optional bit. So I'm gonna get some poses done. So I've done 2 poses so far. So we've got these 2 guys. Let me just take them out. I don't need the symmetry on them now, so just pop him to the side. We'll pop him there. They are actually the same model, and they are the same size. But this one, look, it looks an awful lot shorter now. Because of his pose, because of his attacking stance. Well, I'm going to duplicate that one. Yeah, capital letters would be helpful. Underscores could help as well. Underscores could help separate the name. Capitals would certainly do it. Right, where did I put the head then? There it is. Right, so he is now done. Let me just take him and drop him over here. Right, this one now. First thing I'm going to do is flip the tail. Not like that. Right. So if I do that, I don't know if you clocked what happened then, but it basically turns the tail inside out, which is not a good look. It's a broken mesh, and it's going to come back and bite me later. So I have to mask it, or mask everything apart from that, and then do my mirror operation, and then it flips the mesh for me without doing the silly bit. This one I'm gonna take a straight leg off this guy. Juju Voodoo, hello, how are you? Hope you're keeping well today. So we're just in the process of making some I want to say goat bastards. Have you seen Family Guy, the episode where Peter goes looking for his sock in the thing, and they're talking about disappearing socks or something like that, and it was a little satyr steals it and runs into the tumble dryer. So that leg is delete, I'll tell you. This leg is going on to, is it this one? No, it's this guy. Well, you know, they deserve it, these guys do. They're pestillent, horrible little turds, aren't they? So they're definitely going to be needing some punishment of some sort. Right, just straighten out that hoof there. This arm and the axe and everything else I want to kind of bring down. Right, this is going to be real faff now. Solo it a second. Right, here we go. So I need to, yeah, I think that will get me where I'm trying to get to. I shouldn't have flipped that hand actually. That hand needed to stay as it was, but maybe not exactly there. I don't know, we'll see. Oops. Oh, she's fine, mate. Thank you. Yeah, so she came back from hospital on Tuesday. They kept her in for a whole week. But yeah, she's back home. We took some flowers round for her, and she's sent a little thank you card round. So she's doing all right. She's well from the sound of things. So yeah, she did have a little bit of a, we had a little bit of a scare with her where she ended up going back in, literally the day she came out of hospital. So she'd been sat down for something like 4 hours or something like that, and obviously she'd been bedbound in hospital. She'd been sat on a sofa for 4 hours and tried to stand up without using the Zimmer frame they gave her. And she just stacked it hard onto the floor, and I had to call the ambulance out for her again. But yeah, they kept her under observation for a little bit at the house before the ambulance finally went off and left her. But they made sure she was all right before they went, which is good. This one, Demon King, is it's called a Bulezau. If you play Dungeons and Dragons, it's a Bulezau. If you play Pathfinder, then it is a Schir or Schir. And if you don't play anything like that, then it's just a kind of a goat-headed demon. But yeah, the Bulezaus, they have this this kind of barbed tail. They're very pustulant and disease-ridden. And they basically will smack their opponents with the no, it's Schir, it's Schir. But they'll hit their enemies with the tail. In Pathfinder, what we call them, the Schir in Pathfinder, sorry. They use the halberds, and what they do is they lick and chew on their halberd blades and infect it with their kind of like toxic venomous saliva, so that when they hit you, they basically give you some horrible kind of like disease, like smallpox or something like that. I think it's called greypox. One way or another, it's not nice. So yeah, they'll be available without the tail as well. So I'll just show you, if you missed the last stream where I did the Nazugon, I managed to get him all finished up. I'm pretty pleased with the result. I've still got to get him test printed because I've had tons of stuff on, but where you at? Where are you, Nazugon? Here we go. There we go. So there's the Nazugon with the skull head. Yeah, they are little feeble demons. They're quite low ranking. So then we've got the Nazugon here, the fallen paladin. So this guy was foolish enough to make a deal with the devil in his life for some riches or reward of some kind, and then has to spend eternity paying for it with his damned soul. So there's the first version of him with the was the alt version, sorry, with the skull. And then we have the original version with the helmet. So there we go. That's the two versions of the Nazu gun we've got here. Yeah, the Nightmare was fun to sculpt actually. We're getting all the fire in now. I feel like it goes really nice with the Hellhounds. I did the month before, so like you put a pack of Hellhounds with the Nazu gun. I think it'd be. It looks like he's got a little hunting pack. You got a picture of the Hellhounds? Yeah, here we go. There's the Hellhounds. I didn't do the fire on these guys, not coloured at least, but obviously you can see the effect here. And they've got that same kind of visual aesthetic. They go quite nicely with that the Nazu gun with the fire. So yeah, it's building up to quite a nice little infernal legion here now. Right, let's get the goat head again. Let's get the third head, or the first head rather. I did. Take this head. I'm going to post it onto the body, and I'll get the alternative set of horns, those we haven't used yet, which are these ones. Copy those as well. Nice. But golden flames. Paste. I'm going to merge the head to the horns. Right, there we go. Oh. Right, I've got about half an hour before I need to be, in fact less than half an hour. I've got about 20 minutes before I need to be leaving to go to pick the little one up from school. Really don't like this guy's face, so I'm just going to quickly come and change something here. Something's feeding off on him. So I think his arm is too long. I just need to lower where his hand is. Right then, so that one, I still think I need to change the position of his head. I'm just going to tilt it to the left a little bit, I think. Oh, actually, do you know what it is? I think it's because he's looking down, isn't it? I've made him to be like, he's so squat with his pose. He needs a bit of height, so let's. That works. Let's just grab the whole body and just yoink it this way a bit. I'm happy with him now. Got this one, let's give him the go ahead, let's merge it in. And of course he's got his leg in the air. Unlike our little impish friends from the other month, this guy's not going to be farting. I'm going to put a rock under his foot. Just get a cube, plonk it there. Bring the base down a touch. Okay, so let's just Dynamesh polish. Trim dynamic. Let's just bash the hell out of the old rock. Let's make it not look like it came from a square. Let's give it a little bit of rock texture. Right, I need to turn that off first, and then just need to Dynamesh with a little bit of resolution. Rock noise. Just give it a little bit of texture. Okay. Group and Dynamesh. That'll give me a flat bottom to the rock, which gives him a nice stable foundation. Okay, so let's delete the hidden bit. Let's merge the rock into the dude's foot. Okay, so that is 3 goatmen done. Captain Morgan is in the foot on the barrel, is it on the bottle? There's a bit of a running joke with the whole Games Workshop thing lately, where they've got all these new hero models coming out, and it's like, are you even a hero if you don't have your foot on a rock or some rubble of some kind? I think it's been a running joke for a long time though, the whole this whole thing with the foot on rock pose. I know as long as I've been sculpting, it's been something that's been like kind of like talked about and joked about. You know, I will actually, but I'll do it on a different one. Because I've done the rock now to fit, and I think his foot needs to be a little bit higher, but I will. Give me a second, let me just import a skull. Skull library, skull. I don't mind having the occasional rock, but yeah, you're right. Like things like the skull needs to go in there. On the Nazu gun, I did a skull head inside a helmet as well. So there's lots of room to do some little bits of something different. Yeah, let's paste that skull in. Let's see how it comes in scale wise. It's teeny tiny. Let's make that at least kind of the right size. Do. Right, this guy now, again, because he's done, let's just drop him over on the side. This guy a little an ominous, threatening kind of pose, I think. Let's give him a. I don't think I'm going to keep it. No, I might keep this head. In fact, on this guy, I might just keep this head and horn combo. We're going to mix them up in a minute, so give some of them like eye patches, bandages, things like that. We'll give them a few bits that will do a. Make them. Give them a bit of a. What's that? Good shout, actually. Good shout. Oops. Not being too overly fussy about the detail on the neck. So that's largely because I'm going to be coming back round to it afterwards and sculpting that fur all over it. So we are going to be changing them up a little bit. Well, now I did say no clothes with these guys. I'm kind of thinking I want to do some robes and stuff. Or just behave myself and do what I said I was going to do. Right, now guys, normally I would do a Tuesday sculpt for Chris for Cursed Empire, and I know I've got loads of stuff still to do for him, but I'm also very aware tomorrow is the last day of January, and so far we've got the Nazu gone, and we've got the 3 Bulezaus that I've done here. So tomorrow's stream I am going to still use to do some more of this stuff. And then I'll roll on to Wednesday doing the Cursed Empire ones for Chris. So if you're wanting to see some Cursed Empire bits, Wednesday's going to be your day. If you're not sure what Cursed Empire is, have a look at cursedempire.com. And you'll see it there. So it's all very... basically like a grimdark RPG. Very, very cool. All fantasy, but very dark, gory fantasy. But these guys would be perfect set in there. Chris may already even have a use for them, so they might even be, well, most of my models will be appearing in the Yeah, I do the Tuesday sculpt and a Wednesday sculpt as well usually. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are my scheduled days where I try and do every week. I say try, it's been a bit of a fail the last couple, for various reasons. But yeah, the I do other streams on other days as well. But the stream I do on a Wednesday usually is for Cursed Empire. So Cursed Empire is a roleplay game that I've been sculpting models for. It's been around for 30 years or thereabouts, give or take. 33 I think it was. It's just about to go into its 3rd edition. And yeah, he's got a tabletop skirmish, tabletop dungeon crawler game coming out. He's got the roleplay game. We've got the card game here as a Thargos. Yes, he does a lot of stuff. And I'm fortunate enough that when I was a lot younger, nearly 20 years ago, I actually sculpted the original miniatures for him in green stuff, and now it's, you know, we've got to a point where he's come full circle and he wants to relaunch his miniature range, but he wants me to redo them all as metal, as 3D printables. So guys, we're there. This last one's not finished. I'm going to have to do all the fur and everything on them. I want to aim for at least one more in this set, so I want to get a set of 5 together. I'm going to do the legs on this last guy, because I'm not quite happy with the pose as it is at the moment. Let me just merge that down so I get his hand in there. Save this. Okay, so I'm going to come back after after I've picked up the kids. And I'm going to finish off this last bit of this model, and then we're going to go and do a continuation on tomorrow's stream where I'll do all the fur and everything else. We'll get them all finished up, ready to rock, and then I need to get the supports done on the Narzugon and this guy ready to go. And that is my wife summoning me because we've got to go to school, go pick the kids up. So I'm going to have to just say goodbye, unfortunately, right now. I will raid and drop you. In fact, no, I haven't got time to raid out. I'm just going to have to knock it on the head, I think. So I've sculpted to the death. So, yeah, thank you all for joining me today. So I will be around tomorrow again, about 10 o'clock-ish UK time. If you want to come and join and see the continuation of this sculpt, please do join me, please feel free. And otherwise, the Discord link has been posted. I'll just do one last quick Bunky, you beat me to it again, mate. There you go. So yeah, always listening, mate, always listening. So yeah, so have a cracking time. Join the Discord server if you want to carry on the conversation, so we'll pick it up later on. Post any pictures or anything you want in there, and yeah, come and join us, and I'll be back tomorrow. Well, thanks guys, and take it easy. Time zone is UK Demon King. I'm in GMT 00, so it's currently 2:39 PM in the UK at the moment. So hope that helps. Okay, I'll see you all tomorrow, hopefully, and yeah, we'll carry on with these guys and get finished.